Hey, what's up, guys? So we keep going, even on shitty days. We continue. The last week has been kind of slow. It's been on and off. It's been very rocky. It's been some winning days, some losing days. We actually had like a 3 day losing streak. Overall, it's been decent. So if you catch me on the wrong day, it's not going to be good. But overall, it's been decent, and we continue forward. I have some NBA stuff that I want to talk about. I have some college basketball that I want to talk about. I do have some player props that I like, but I don't know if I'll talk about that. And then overall, I got some shots on goal that I can discuss as well. But before we continue, guys, go to the link in the bio. Also, there's a link in the description. You're going to click on where it says free. Make sure you get the free stuff right here. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. And right now, we're offering the 1 month pass, so you guys can get the rest of the NBA season. Also, click on Discord. We're growing a lot faster on the Discord, so we have 4 cappers in there as well. So if you guys want to check that out, let me start talking about some of the stuff here. Give me 1 second. Let me set up. So, for example, let me just go through this real quick. So I'll talk about each one of these games. I have a lot more data that I go through, but I'm not going to do that. I've already looked at a lot of stuff, so I kind of know exactly what I'm going with already. So I'm not going to go and try to bore you just reading through all the stuff. I would just rather just give you a visual. So here it is, Detroit. I really like this because look over here. There's three guys right here that are questionable. If this dude does not play, this line is going to shift dramatically even more. Right now it's like at 11 and a half. I'll tell you exactly I'll actually give you this play because it's one of my favorite ones. I'll give you this one for sure. I'll actually show you my slip. Let me make sure I have the slip. Give me a second. NBA. Yeah, so I have the slip. I'll give you the slip at the end of this conversation here with the NBA, and then I'll get into college. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to go with in college directly because that's inside the Discord already. But if you guys wanted the Discord access, go to the link in the description, click on Discord. It's only $10. So check that out. Anyways, I love Detroit in this position. I got a bunch of notes here. The Pelicans have a bunch of injuries, as you can just see right there. I'm showing you the screen right there. The Pelicans are horrible on the road. The Detroit Pistons are decent at home. And also the Pistons are actually going for their final push for the playoffs. So I love Detroit in this position. I've seen them play the last game, and they look like shit, especially against going against Mavericks. But Pelicans are not the Mavericks. I mean, the Mavericks are pretty bad, but Pelicans are a lot worse. So, anyways, I love Detroit in this position. The next one is right here. It's right next to them. It's Cleveland. I love Cleveland in this position. Let me see. I had some notes here. I actually bought it back. I think the current line was, let me take a look at what the current line is for Cleveland. It's very high. So Cleveland, it's minus 14, and then it went to minus 16. Even though there's sharp money coming in against Cleveland's line, it's still being pushed over. So what that means for us is that Cleveland is super heavily favored to win by 14, and then it's still got even pushed even further. Now it's minus 16. So what this means is that they're heavily favored to win this game. Now, I did more, even deeper research because Cleveland has been messing up covering spreads, and I've been burned before. So what I did is I actually bought it back all the way. I bought it back like 7 points, and I'll give you the slip after this. But you can see right here, they got Markkanen has been out, Collins is out. Look how many people they have out over here. These guys have their full squad right here, and these guys are missing pretty much their entire team. Plus, look at this record, 16 and 55. Let me scroll over so you can see. It's not letting me scroll. What the hell? Anyways, you can see it's right here, 16 and 55. They're not winning games, and Cleveland is one of the best teams in the NBA. You can see 56 and 14. Jazz is 16 and 55. Plus, they have all these people that are out. The only thing that happens with Cleveland is they're winning by so much that they start sitting all their starters. So it's a blowout factor. You have to be considerate of that. That's why I'm buying it back. I did even deeper research, even with all the blowouts. How much do they win by? And they normally win by 10 points. So what I did is I'm going to give you the play now. I'll put it right in the screen right here. This is what I went with. So I went with Detroit -1.5, and then I went with Cavaliers -9.5. Again, I did the research. I went and I made sure what the Cleveland, when they win, what did they win by, even in blowout situations. And that's a minus, they win by 10 points. So that's why I bought it back. They're a little bit riskier because it does say, again, that they don't cover spreads. So I went a little further and I went into something called, here, let me pull it up. So I went into this StatMuse and I went and I typed in, what does the Utah Jazz, how many games have they covered the spread in their last 5 games? You can see they've only covered the spread one time in the last 5 games. So having said that, even at the 16, they're not supposed to cover that spread because they've only covered it one time. Plus, Cleveland is way more dominant than these other teams right here, except for Boston. So, anyways, I did the research. Everything is checking out. This should hit easily. And just so you know, let me turn off the Wi-Fi. All right. I hope that sounds better. So, did you guys notice a difference in my like me cutting off or anything like that? Let me know, please. I was recording a video yesterday and it was like glitching. So I would like to know that. Anyways, I do like Detroit to win this game. They should cover the spread right here, -1.5. And then we got Cleveland at a -9.5. So that's what I did. I bought it back, for that. This game right here is a little risky. So this game is very, very risky. So Philadelphia sucks on the road. Atlanta is much better at home. This guy's not even questionable. However, these guys don't cover spreads. And these guys don't cover spreads either. Look how many people are out. So what the projections and everything is showing is that Philadelphia is going to cover the spread. And I believe that because Atlanta played yesterday and they're not doing that good. So what I would tell you is stay away from this game. That's what I'm doing. Same thing with this one. Too many question marks, too much bullshit to deal with. So I would stay away from Miami and Atlanta. I would stay away from those games. The money is shifting towards Portland. Portland does cover spreads a lot more. Let me confirm that. Portland Trailblazers last 5 games ATS. So you can see they do cover spreads 4-1. So that just goes back to what I was saying. Portland covers spreads. Boston does not. Boston has a bunch of injuries. The line is shifting towards Portland. I'm not saying take Portland, but I'm not taking Boston either. These two teams are very toxic. I'm not touching them either. I already explained about Houston. Look how many question marks are here. Jokic is the big one. He's out. This guy's questionable. This guy's questionable. This guy's questionable. The line is shifting towards Houston. Houston at home has been a monster. The last 3 games that the Denver have played without Jokic, they've only won 1 game. So I love Houston in this position. And then this one is very, very difficult to call. So I'm not touching it. There's a lot of question marks. The line is shifting the wrong way. These guys have their full squad back. They haven't been this good, this healthy in a while. Ever since they got healthy again, now they're winning games. So I don't trust OKC to win this game, but I don't trust Clippers to cover against one of the best defenses. So I'm staying away. So again, guys, I'm gonna just go real quick. I love Houston in this position. If I was forced to take something, which I'm not, it would be Portland to cover. These games are very toxic. I would stay away from both of those. I love Cleveland and I love Detroit. All right, that's for that. Let's see. Let me see what else. What else? What else? What else was I talking about? Okay, so now let me get into college. So go to the link in the bio, guys. Click. I'm going to talk about college right now. I'm going to talk about some shots on goal for hockey. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments. I'm not sure if you guys are commenting because I can't see them on here. I'm on a different network. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, go to the link in the bio, click on free if you haven't done so. Also, check out the Discord. All right. Let me talk about college. So we love Duke in this position. Give me a second. I can't show this screen because it's inside the Discord, but let me put it over here so I can see what the hell I'm looking at. All right, cool. So we like Florida, we like Duke, we like Michigan State. Also, I was looking at, what's the other one I was looking at? The SMU. I like SMU, but one thing that stood out to me was that the line was stuck at a 7.5. So I don't trust that they're going to be able to cover that. So I'm going to stay away, either SMU, either that, or I'm going to take them together with Duke or something like that. But I already have two things going on with Duke, so I'm probably just going to leave it alone. So we do, again, I like Florida, Duke, and Michigan State. That's what we like. And then what I might do is actually put together Bama. I actually got this from TikTok. Somebody was telling me today to look at Bama and Duke together, and I actually like that one. So I'll probably try to figure out a way to do that, or I'll probably just leave it alone because I already have Duke anyway. So it just depends on what you want to do there. And then the shots on goal. Let me see if I can look up the players instead of just trying to tell you who we're looking at. Troy, Terry. Don't quote me on these. I'm just still taking a look at who they are, and not who they are, but if I'm gonna go with them. So this guy I'm looking at over 1.5 goals, or shots on goal, I should say. Shots on goal. Again, don't take them yet. I do like them though. Troy Thompson is the second one. This one is going to be over 2 shots on goal. And then we got the Logan. Let's see. Logan Stankoven. This one is going to be over 1.5 shots on goal. Again, guys, don't take these. These are just what I'm liking. You can do your own research if you want. And then this guy is over 1 shot on goal. So again, I'm going to actually, right after I hop off this live, I'm going to go and do the research on these 4 players. And what I've been doing is I actually do a parlay. So for example, let's say this guy, he's over 1 shot on goal. That's a bad example. Let me see this guy. So this guy right here, Logan, let's say his projection is 2 shots on goal, right? Over 1.5. What I do is I actually buy it back to 1 shot on goal. And then I'll parlay that with this guy. Let's say this guy was over 2 shots on goal. I'll buy it back and do 1 shot on goal. So I'll do this guy for 1 shot on goal, this guy for 1 shot on goal. Same thing for this guy. I'll do, instead of 3 shots on goal, I'll do 2 shots on goal. I hope that makes sense. So I buy it back 1 shot on goal. And that's been solid, man. I think I've only lost 1 in the last 2 weeks. So I've been testing that. It's been hitting. Once it's very solid, I'll be throwing it into my slips and I'll be sharing those. But it's been very solid, and that's all I'm doing. I'm looking at the top players to get shots on goal, and then I buy it back 1 shot on goal, and I parlay that with the other guy, and then I buy that back 1 shot on goal, and I put them together. So I was doing that in baseball, and that's probably what I'll be doing in baseball as well. I'll be looking at the top teams, and then I'll look at so for example, let's say Dodgers are supposed to win by 2. The run line is 1.5. I'll buy it back for them to win straight up, or if they're going to win straight up, I'll buy it back at a plus 1.5. I'll get to talking about that once baseball starts, but I'll basically, on the run line for baseball, it's been very solid, and I took that same strategy and I did it for hockey, and it's been winning. So once you know the strategies, you can kind of cross-reference them between different sports, and it's been decent. It's been very decent. So again, guys, all those strategies and stuff like that, I talk about it on Discord. I share a lot of stuff in there. Also, if you guys see the True Edge Pro, I did not go through it today, but there's a lot of information in there that gives you. I'll just give you a quick breakdown. So, for example, I'm going to go through it right now, and I'll explain. This is normally what I do on my lives, and if you guys have been here in the past, you know that this is what I've shared. So, for example, this is all the breakdown for one game. You see, so I'm not going to go through it. I already talked about it. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but it gives you the spread, historical data, the projections, the analysis, where the injuries are, what the current lines are, everything. So that's going to be inside this True Edge Pro right here. If you guys want the Discord, also it's right there. And I gave you guys a lot of information already. I'm not going to bore you with everything else. Let me know what you guys are interested in, and I can talk about it. There's a lot of, I've shared a lot of information already. So Detroit, Cleveland, Houston. Detroit, Cleveland, and Houston is what I'm liking. And then for college, I'm liking Florida, Duke, and Michigan State. So if you guys want the plays and stuff like that, go to the link in the description and click on Discord. And there's stuff in there already that we talked about. Also, I'm going to go through the shots on goal right after I hang this up, and I'll be posting that as well. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. I see there's about 11 people on here. I know there's a lot of people that watch me, even though even if I've lost a couple of days or stuff like that. So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the effort when you're liking my videos and watching them and stuff like that, especially for you guys that are watching this live. I appreciate you all. Let's have a great day. Thank you so much.